Hey everybody, this is Bill. I'm the salty old Marine. Is the tide turning against veterans? Well, that's a comment that I saw in one of my YouTube videos recently. A viewer asked, and honestly, it's a reasonable question, so I don't begrudge the question, right? I'm not picking on the viewer who wrote this. But basically, the question is this. If too many of us get 100% P&T, maybe the VA will turn off the tap. It's a thing, right? So if too many of us start getting this, then maybe it's going to come to an end. I get that thought. I understand the fear, but I don't think it's true. So I want to explain why in this video, in case any of you were wondering. So more veterans than previously are getting to 100% permanent and total in terms of VA disability rating. That is true. It hasn't gone up a tremendous amount, but it has gone up. And the most recent information about that shows that about 24% of all veterans who get disability are at the 100% mark. Now, some people would argue that what that means is that more veterans are being correctly rated. More veterans are, in fact, 100% disabled. And now the VA is finally recognizing that appropriately. Others might say it means veterans are taking advantage of the system. They are chasing the rating. They're committing nefarious acts in order to get to 100%. They're gaming it. They're treating it like it's a pastime. So, yeah, I get that idea. But the person who made the comment also said that public sentiment is turning against veterans. That was part of their argument as to why maybe we should draw back a little bit. Maybe we shouldn't try to get to 100%. So I took a little look, and let's see what we found. A 2021 YouGov poll showed that most Americans actually think we don't do enough for veterans. A 2024 Ipsos survey found that 92% more support more mental health care for veterans. 90% support more job placement programs, and 88% back more educational benefits. So it doesn't seem to me like the tide is turning in terms of public sentiment. In fact, I think if you ask the public, they're going to say pretty much the same thing. We don't do enough for our veterans. We don't recognize them enough. We don't compensate them enough. We don't take as good care of them in our healthcare system as we should. So I don't think that the tide is turning against veterans. Where the criticism really lies is most frustration is not aimed at veterans. It's aimed at the VA system itself, the delays, the bureaucracy, and the budget management. So the public overwhelmingly supports veterans. We know this. What they question is whether the Veterans Administration is running efficiently, and it's probably not. But that's not the same thing as turning against veterans. It's like supporting firefighters but complaining that the fire department is mismanaged, right? The support of the people never really goes away. So I get it, right? The idea that 100% P&T will eventually cause the tap to be turned off. It's an interesting thought, and I understand the fear. I do. But the fact is that most veterans are actually not correctly rated. And that's why, as information becomes available, channels like these trying to help veterans get correctly rated, that's why those numbers are increasing. The PACT Act, which was passed, again, by Congress, right? It didn't just appear magically. Congress intended for this to happen, made it easier for veterans of recent wars, including the burn pits from the various recent wars, all of that type of thing, the contaminated water at Camp Lejeune, Agent Orange in Vietnam, they put those all underneath the PACT Act, and they made them presumptive conditions, meaning you don't have to try as hard to prove that the military caused that condition that you currently have. And they did that, and the VA then went out and did outreach programs to try and reach the veterans to tell them about these things, which is fantastic. That's like a first for the VA, right? And as a result, many more veterans are now being rated in the system. So yeah, we're seeing more veterans get to 100% permanent and total. But does that mean they're taking unfair advantage of the system? No. In my opinion, it means they're finally being correctly rated, and I'm all for it. And the public's all for it too. I don't know. I hope you find this useful. I'm Bill. I'm the salty old Marine. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. And as always, have a great day.